Welcome back, brothers and sisters, to our daily Bible devotion. Hope you're well. We're still in Mark chapter 2. We're finishing Mark chapter 2 today. On our last episode, we looked at Christ explaining that how you cannot mend an old garment with a new cloth, as in you cannot mix the old and the new with regards to the doctrines, and how you cannot put new wine in an old bottle. And what Christ was trying to say here is the doctrine that Christ was bringing about cannot be mixed or mingled with the traditions and the cultures of the Pharisees. And that's what he was warning the Pharisees and the disciples about. So on our last bit of Mark chapter 2, we read from verse 23. And it came to pass that he went through the cornfields on the Sabbath day, and his disciples began as they went to pluck the ears of the corn. And the Pharisees said unto him, Behold, why do they on the Sabbath day that which is not lawful? So why do they on the Sabbath day that which is not lawful? And he said unto them, Have ye never read that David did when he had need, and was hungered, he and they that were with him, how he went into the house of the Lord in the days of Abiathar the high priest, and did eat the shewbread, which is not lawful to eat but for the priests, and gave also to them which were with him. And he said unto them, The Sabbath was not made for man. The Sabbath was made for man, and not man for the Sabbath. So the Sabbath was made for man, and not man for the Sabbath. Therefore the Son of Man is also the Lord of Sabbath. So what Ellen White writes about this is, Christ during his earthly ministry emphasized the binding claims of the Sabbath. In all his teaching, he showed the reverence of the institution he himself had given. In his days, the Sabbath had become so perverted that its observance reflected the character of selfish and arbitrary men rather than the character of God. Christ set aside the false teachings by which those who claim to know God had misrepresented him. So what Christ was doing here was he was getting rid of these strenuous and man-made rules and regulations of the Sabbath, because they were misrepresenting the character of God. And the Pharisees and the Sanhedrin were ready to point fingers those who broke the Sabbath rules, but they themselves broke their own rules. So it was sort of like one rule for them and one rule for the other. And what Christ is also saying here is that the Sabbath was made for man and not man for the Sabbath, meaning the Sabbath is the day we get close to God. It's a gift from God for rest and communion and building our relationship with God. See you in the next one, brothers and sisters.